Hey guys, I am so excited today to share with you Scott, who is the author. And hold up the book, Scott, because I want to make sure I get it correct. Okay, so the book is What Sucks or That Sucks, What Now? And Scott, I want you to share with my audience exactly what you mean by that book and just give them a little bit of background about who you are, where you came from, what industry you're in. So just tell us a little about you.
Sure. Thank you, Courtney. Always fun to do this. So that sucks. What now comes out of a near-death experience that I had, and obviously I'm an overachiever. I lived, so I made it through the other side, and I started researching. When quote unquote I wasn't supposed to live through what I lived through, and when you hear that all the time, then the next thing is, well, but I did. So let me find some context from all this. Well, everything I found was like, you shouldn't be alive. And I was just tired of reading all that. And I said, if somebody is going to live through something like I did, somebody needs to document it better than what I'm able to find everywhere else. So I started writing the book. Well, that led to detailing other not such great situations in my life that I had lived through. And I was talking to a friend one day, and I said, I'm kind of stuck on the title. And he said, well, what's all about the book? And I told him all about the different things. He said, I never knew you lived through all that stuff. And I said, well, you don't wear all your butt kickings on your sleeve, right? I mean, you don't tell everybody everything that's gone on. And he said, yeah, but I would have never known. He said, what did you say to yourself after each one of those things? And I, not thinking about it, I just went, that sucks. What now? And he goes, there's the name of your book. And it really was. What it really means to me is, that sucks. I wish it wouldn't have happened that way. What now? No time to sit and cry about it. Time to get to work to fixing it, So it's really a very positive book, an inspirational book on how to persevere and fight through the not such great things in life.
I love it. I love it. And what's crazy is that I had I don't know that it was necessarily a near death experience. I thought I was going to die due to mold exposure almost 3 years ago. Actually, about 3.5 years ago. And, it's crazy. You're right. Like, there's nothing positive out there that talks about coming through what your current situation is and just moving past it. And I think one of the things that I love about the title of that book is like, okay, this happened and it's part of my past, but it has nothing to do with my future and moving forward. And if I can't do anything, I can't fix the past and I can't deal with that. So it's like, I've got a path that I've got to be on. And so that's awesome that I've often thought I'm going to write a book about my massive mold exposure, because, people just don't realize they can live through things until they see someone else has lived through that. It's crazy.
Yeah. The real key becomes the subtitle: real world solutions for getting through what you're going through. So what happened is, I developed all these mechanisms to fight through these things, as I'm sure you did with your mold experience, right? And you just do what you do. And it wasn't until somebody read a whole bunch of the book, one of the editors, they went, oh my God, how did you think about doing these things? I said, doesn't everybody? And they go, no. And so it's one of those things that when you persevere through things in life and through business and all these different things, you learn this stick-to-itiveness. You get sticky, you just fight through, and you learn how to fight through. And if you're an entrepreneur, you better be sticky.
Yes.
Because you're going to have some times that aren't so great.
I know. So can you tell us what the near-death experience was? Because now I'm curious.
I actually had a full-blown cerebellar stroke.
Oh, wow.
The cerebellum is responsible for speech, memory, fine motor skills, walking, talking, vertigo, you name it. By the grace of God, I got nothing. Wow. And now, obviously, I went through it right at the time. But what happened was, after 8 days of everybody saying, you shouldn't be alive, And I know that sounds weird, but it does work on your psyche, right? You
Yeah.
shouldn't be alive. You
Yeah.
shouldn't be alive. You shouldn't be alive. I finally got frustrated and I said, sorry to disappoint you. I'm just an overachiever. I lived. And that became a rallying cry to all of this, right? Is sometimes you just have to be an overachiever and fight. You just
Exactly.
have to get through your situation. It's not always a perfect situation, but especially if you're an entrepreneur, oh my goodness, you're going to be against less than perfect situations far more than you'll ever be in total alignment with things, right? You
Yeah.
just got to learn to fight through it.
I love it. Well, and I was actually crazy fighting through. Speaking of that, is that this week we actually hired 9 new people, and I decided in our accounting practice, and so we're getting ready, really prepared to go the next level. So I know what's coming, and we have to be prepared for that. So as an entrepreneur. One, it's a scary feeling to know that you just almost doubled your staff in a matter of a overnight. But then the other is trying to train somebody how to do what you've been doing for the last 19 years. And it's a little frustrating. It's just a little frustrating. So as a business owner, it's like we have to, or an entrepreneur, we have to know, like we have to first see where we're going, and before everybody else sees it, and we have to hope to God that what we saw actually pans out. And sometimes it doesn't, but you're exactly right. You just have to keep going. And if you mess up, like, you get right back up and you just keep going again. And I think unless you can actually do that as an entrepreneur, there's no way you can be successful unless you're willing to fail numerous times. So tell us about, how long, what industry have you been in prior? What have you done with your life prior to this book?
Well, I've been very blessed to do quite a few things. I started my professional selling career while I was going to college and playing Big Ten football at the University of Iowa. Go Hawks. No Hawk fans. That's fine. Anyway, I also sold life insurance. I started at the age of 18 because I was going to school at a time where there were no jobs when you came out of school. And so what was going to make me different? Personal face-to-face communication
Right.
ability. So I learned how to present. Well, that served me very well in a sales career, a presentation career. I did the corporate stint because that's my dad worked for the same company for 46 years. That's what you
Right.
did. You did corporate until you didn't.
Right.
And then, was in and out of consulting and entrepreneurial businesses and helping pioneer and launch businesses and things like that. In 2003, I actually made the decision that I wanted to go speaking professionally full time. And as there's a story in the book that describes it, my speaking career was actually started because of the SARS virus in Toronto.
Wow.
I actually got my first platform and my first opportunity to get paid as a professional speaker because other speakers were afraid of being infected. And a friend of mine gave me their spots. I took advantage of that. I not only got one speaking spot, I got two. Jack Canfield and Mark Victor Hansen walked into my room, heard me speak, said, son, if you aren't doing this full time, you're not using the talents and capabilities God's granted you. And if you're not using those talents, you're robbing humanity, you're cheating humanity. In fact, you're being selfish. And I
Wow.
basically came back and went off speaking.
Wow. That's awesome. That's super crazy. I connected with Jack Canfield a couple weeks ago through another
Mm-hmm.
platform. So that's amazing. 2003. So you've been a
Yep.
speaker this entire time?
Yeah, 18 years now. I've done over 2,500 live events,
Wow.
spoken to over 1 million people live, and done 8 infomercials. I've probably sold 25 or $30 million from the stage. And it's just been an honor to present messages that can be of service to people all this time.
That's amazing. And so, the book, is that the only thing that you do? I know that, kind of how we got connected. A friend of mine, one of my clients, shared with me this "Be Connected," and I think first and foremost, a lot of people need to understand what this is. I need to understand what it is, definitely. But I also think it sounds like an amazing platform that we can, not only network, and forgive me if I'm wrong, almost like a BNI type networking atmosphere, so that we can become friends and we can learn from each other and we can help each other grow. So, if you want to share that, I would love to hear your take on what Be Connected is all about.
Yeah, I'm also the chief visionary officer now for Be Connected. And Be Connected is really an intentional community of people coming together to do business purposefully with quality and integrity.
Love it.
Think of it as an online dating service for business. So you've seen algorithmic profile matching in the dating world for 20 years now. Well, we took algorithms from profile matching, we took search engine technologies and took the very best information from business social media platforms, put it all into one platform called Be Connected. Beekonnected. And what it really is an online um, dating service for businesses. In other words, you can identify your ideal customer, right? Your ideal person, and you can actually get profile matches to that. You can actually independently search for that. There's a lot of noise and a lot of clutter in the social media world these days. Facebook has 2.4 billion people that come to it each and every month. And all of a sudden, business owners are spending their hard earned money to buy an ad. And the visibility of that ad is somewhere behind two cat videos and yesterday's lunch. It's just not very efficient as far as that. Well, what if you could purposefully find your ideal customer and do business with them with greater quality and greater integrity? Profit margins will go up, efficiencies will go up, tax benefits will be realized. And then we also have an entire educational portion. We have coaches that are just providing tremendous entrepreneurial education to help our community grow in that. We offer member benefits that save money, again, tax savings. So it's an all-encompassing platform for the small business owner and entrepreneur, and quite frankly, anybody who has a desire to do business with more efficiently, faster, better, all those kinds of things.
And that's the thing I think, that I've had to tell my clients, is that some of our clients have exploded. Like, they're in the network marketing space. They've done a really amazing job of using and marketing on social media. And some clients are not there yet. Like, they don't know how to get the marketing campaigns and everything up and rolling with
Mhm.
online marketing, because they're so used to doing the face-to-face communication. And that's one of the things, like, it has taken me several years to get to a point where I have a massive following, I would say, on social media. And I haven't even touched the other platforms. Like, I haven't touched Instagram. I haven't touched LinkedIn. But what I am understanding that Be Connected kind of is doing is that, one, it allows you to get education, which is kind of keeping people constantly coming back. But while you're there, you can get that networking experience. And, one of the reasons why, I became a platinum partner with Tony Robbins last year, one of the most amazing experiences of my entire life. And as soon as all this kind of starts back over again, I'll probably be a platinum partner again. And the reason why is because I'm so committed to be in front of the top 1%. And so that's kind of what I see with what's going on
Right.
with Be Connected is that, and not everybody wants to spend, let me tell you, not everybody wants to spend $85,000 a year to go hang around with Tony Robbins. So I think Be Connected is definitely a much better place for most people, especially when you're getting started in, whether it's you just started in your first business or you have a home-based business. If you have a brick and mortar business, I'm assuming that it works for
Yeah.
them just as well, right? So it doesn't matter what.
Absolutely.
Go ahead.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say is everything you're saying there is absolutely right, Courtney. The reality is many entrepreneurs and small business owners, because they become the chief cook and bottle washer, right? They're doing it all in their business. They're kind of the lone ranger or sometimes the lone wolf. And you know what? It's kind of nice to find your own pack.
Yeah.
It's kind of nice to find some other high achievers that have come together, and sometimes in a little bit of a way, they're even saying, I'm kind of sick and tired of being sick and tired. I'm kind of tired of being out on my own. Boy, wouldn't it be nice to have some like minds and some like hearts that I can join with, and that we can go do quality business together and have fun doing it. I mean, how much fun is that, right?
I love it. Well, and one of the things with me is that, I'll go to an event and, where I'm at, because typically, I'm at my office or I'm at my house, right? With my children, with our 6 children. And so everyone around me, I either have employees that are around me, maybe family that's around me, but I don't necessarily have business owners around me on a daily basis, because the way that we operate our accounting practice, clients don't come to our office. We have more clients outside this state than we have in this state. And we are in every single state all over the country. But so, I think sometimes we get into a rut where it's like, we're doing good. And then I'll go to an event or I'll hang out with somebody or have a conversation with somebody, and they're like, yeah, we did $10 million in the last 6 months. And I'm like, wow, well, I guess I got to work harder. I mean, so you never realize how truly big or, how much of an impact you can actually make if you're not around bigger thinkers. Because if you're the biggest thinker in the room, you need to find a different room to get in. And so I think that's kind of what this Be Connected, what they're creating there. And, it was great. Scott, I was connected by Amanda Snyder, and Scott, reached out and we had a conversation. And, he's like, the first time he's like, the first thought that I had was having you in this group so that we can talk about tax deductions. Because, see, here's the thing that I know, and I know really, really well, is that before this pandemic, 46% of Americans did not have an extra $400 to their name. And 69% of Americans didn't have an extra $1,000 to their name. And so what we have to do is we have to do a really good job of educating people why they would literally be brain dead not to own some sort of home-based business. And I don't care what that is. It matters. It does not make a difference to me. If you want to go bake cakes, or if you want to join a network marketing company, or if you want to sell a product, or if you want to sell a service for a company, or if you want to become an accountant, it really doesn't matter to me. What I care about is that we can help people free up $4,000 to $8,000 a year on average by having some sort of home-based business. So we take a W-2 employee, right? And we turn them into a W-2 employee with a home-based business. They're going to save between $4,000 and $8,000 a year. Why is that important? Exactly what I just said. 46% of Americans before the pandemic did not have an extra $400 to their name. That being said, on top of that, we've got now 48% of Americans at the age of 55 have $0 in retirement. That's absurd.
Yeah. Well, just the simple thing, and I'm a professional speaker, but one of the things I tell people, if you want to learn one thing, make money, pay tax, spend the rest, make money, spend the money, pay tax.
Exactly.
Which would you prefer?
That's exactly right. And that's what, most people don't realize that there are two tax systems in this country. There's the one that was created to
Mhm.
steal your wealth, and that's for a W-2 employee. And there was one that was created to give you wealth or help you create more wealth, and that's a business owner. So as business owners, we make money, we have payroll, right? So we are creating an economy constantly. We're generating more
Right.
sales. We are spending money in the economy. We're generating jobs. And then the jobs, those trigger into W-2 employees, and the W-2 employees then pay the taxes. So we get massive tax advantages. Whereas, just like you said, as a W-2 employee, you would make your money, you would pay taxes. You have no say so in how much money that you actually pay in taxes. None, because you've got to pay FICA taxes, federal taxes, state taxes, sometimes local taxes, city taxes. And then on top of that, not to mention sales tax and gas tax and property tax and all these other taxes, right? So the average American is spending 50% of every dollar they make in taxes. And you will literally spend more in your lifetime on taxes if you're a W-2 employee than food, clothing, housing, and transportation combined. And
Uh,
nobody teaches this stuff. Nobody. And so,
yeah.
What I'm here to share with you today, the funny thing is, as a business owner, we make money. We get to spend it how we want to, as long as we're attempting to earn an income. And see, the thing is, like this, be connected, like any, continuing education, it's all attempting to earn an income. So when we have the opportunity to not only get continuing education, but also to network with people, that is 100% tax deductible. And the cool part is that we can have fun along the way and make new
That's right.
friends and make new acquaintances and take what we're currently doing and carry that to another level by being around better people, not necessarily better than you, but the thing is that if a rising tide raises all boats, right? So if we're all helping each other, we're all connecting with each other, and then we're all going to have a better business, we're going to have a better life. And so you may know people that I don't know, and I know people that you don't know, and we need to share this same message back and forth. So, my book, and here's my book, More Relaxing, Less Taxing, why you'd be brain dead not own a business. I mean, it's all about just teaching people why they need to spend money on continuing education, on personal growth and development, on building a business. And I'll tell you guys, one of the number one things I spend my money on, that is hands down continuing education. So one of the things that I love about what Scott and Be Connected are doing is allowing you not only the opportunity to network and connect with people, on this eHarmony. And I've never been on eHarmony. So, I have to learn how this all works, and I might be upset if somebody doesn't accept me, but I guess, it'll be really fun to be able to connect and have that relationship, but then also getting the continuing education. And then from what I understand, I'm going to be in there providing as much content as humanly possible to people to share with you why you'd be brain dead not to own a business, why you'd be brain dead not to put money in continuing education and to build your mindset. Because what we have been able to do in the last 3 years by putting money into personal growth and development is literally taking our business from $7,500 a month to $270,000 a month.
Mm-hmm.
It's absurd. And it's just about growing who you are.
Benjamin Franklin said it many years ago. The very best place to empty your wallet is in your head.
Yeah.
See, nobody can ever take it. In a divorce, you can lose your goods. You can lose a lot of property. You can lose all sorts of different things. You can never lose your knowledge. Yeah. The one reason that I'm such an advocate for personal development and professional development and writing the books and buying the books and different things. My wife said, hey, I bought 3 books today. And she's like, you haven't read enough books now. Well, the reality is, if you keep on feeding your mind and you keep on getting more information. See, it's interesting. I was in front of a room one day, and we were talking about entrepreneurial process, right? And just trying to help some small business owners. And then all of a sudden somebody got upset because they paid 38% tax, and one of the presidential candidates at the time paid 14%. And I said, don't be a hater. You can't hate the player, you got to hate the system. If you don't know the laws, that is not his fault. That is your fault. The laws are equal for each and every one of us. The actual federal guidelines say we all have the legal obligation to pay the least amount of tax possible.
Love
Most
it.
people haven't read that statute. That is actually in the IRS code. That is our obligation to pay the least amount. And yet people don't learn about it to the point, which I understand. There's a million pages of code now. It's craziness for sure. That's why you got to learn from Courtney. I mean, she's got it condensed into like 8 pages. It's amazing. Maybe a little bit more. But the point is that people don't, they sit there and point and say, well, it's not fair. It is the exact same for each and every one of us, provided we have this same education, and it is available to each and every one of us. So that's my encouragement to folks.
I love it. Yeah. And I mean, that's the same thing. I teach even my employees, as much as I want them to focus on my business, right? Because I mean, that's what I'm paying them to do. I also want them to find something that they can do as a side hustle, and, they can get started and it can save them money and taxes, because at the end of the day, I don't want to just teach. I don't want to just teach people outside my community. I want to teach my staff how to do the exact same thing. And that's what we're creating now, is a system for them to go be subcontractors, so they can work for us and they'll work from home. And, so it's great when you understand the two tax systems. It's wonderful when you comprehend that all you have to do is make a shift. See, and we're not talking about like spending lots of money. We're talking about that you can actually you can decide, hey, I'm going to be in business today. I could spend a couple $100 in a network marketing company if that's what I wanted to do. And now I can redirect my living expenses and turn those into business expenses. So the cool part is that personal growth and development is not a tax deduction, but continuing education is. Because continuing education says I'm trying to build my business. Now, if I personally grow in the process, that's okay. That's perfectly okay. And that would allow me 100% tax deduction. But if I just decide, hey, I want to go to an event and hang out with some cool people, if I'm not in business, then I don't get to write that off on my taxes. So, and the same thing is sitting down and having a meal with somebody. If you're talking to them about your business and how you're building your business, that becomes a tax deduction. There's so many things that you can do. So if we can help people understand, like, look, how much is Be Connected? Kind of how does it work?
It's $299, and when you choose to become an affiliate, you have made a conscious decision to have a business, right?
Got it.
So number one, you've got deductions there. You've got all the education that comes with it. You get over $19,000 worth of benefits for your $299. You've now created an intentional business that you can use as your foundational business because of the affiliate portion of Be Connected. And the other thing is, I really love what you said about getting like-minded, like-hearted people together. You're also, as that lone wolf or the lone ranger, you're going to be able to find greater concepts, ideas, ways of improving your business through these relationships. You're going to be able to find those folks who, like you, want to grow their businesses. One might be in Atlanta, one might be in Dallas, right? You can each grow your businesses independent of each other, and yet you can share best practices along the way. And that's really what we want to do with Be Connected, is we want to help people share best practices, which is why when you and I were talking, and I absolutely want you to help small business owners and entrepreneurs understand tax and whatever. It's not like it's the most fun subject. I'm not trying to suggest that, but it's the least known and most needed subject.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
that's what's important about it,
Yeah.
is people need to get on top of this, because if they did, just having that extra $4,000 to $8,000 a year because of the deductions that come by having a business, I mean, that's an extra, what, $500 a month?
Yes.
What's the rate of bankruptcy if you just had an extra $473? The most significant portion of bankruptcies would be averted.
Yes.
I mean, my God, it's just a little bit of education here and there.
Yes. And that's I'm a part of so many different platforms, and only because, what I'm trying to do, guys, is to get my message out. Like, everyone needs to know that they need to have some sort of home-based business. And, it might not be that, what Scott is doing may not be for you. What, my friend Nicola is doing, she's in FES, and that may not be for you. What my friend Stormy does in TLC, that may not be for you. What my friend Jason Brown does in IM and Alex Morton, that may not be for you. At the end of the day, find something that you like to talk about. And if you
Yep.
just like to talk, find a product or a service that you're passionate about and go share that with people. Find a company that you can stand behind. Find a leader in that company that you can stand behind, and find an amazing product or service that you can stand behind, and just open your mouth and share. Because see, things like what we're talking about now, everything I do, I would say almost, is a tax deduction. And the reason why is because there's no disconnect between Courtney Epps' personal and Courtney Epps' business, because I've intertwined the two. And maybe you may say, you know what? Well, I don't like selling myself. Last time I checked, freeing up $4,000 to $8,000 a year for somebody is not selling myself. Educating people on how they can change their life is not selling anything. And I think that's what most people do really well, especially as speakers. And I'll share with you my mission. My mission is to teach more so that I can help more, so that they can then have more. Then I'll be able to save more people, and then I can feed more children, because every dollar that comes through our accounting practice, we feed a child whole food, plant-based nutrition. Then I can free more, because we work with Operation Underground Railroad, and for every $25,000 we bring into our accounting practice, we actually free a child from sex trafficking. And then we can provide more safe water, because every $150 we provide safe drinking water for a person in Liberia, border to border initiative, a person in Liberia. We're doing that through a company called The Last Well, a nonprofit. And then we're teaching people how to do the same thing. So at the end of the day, we're trying to create awareness to build up businesses all at one time, to help each other, create this massive ecosystem of people who are just helping other people find and get the information that they so desperately need, so that we can change their life. And I'm here to help in any way that I possibly can, in order to free up money, so that people can use that money to build their mindset, so that they'll make more money. And then once they make more money, guess what? I want to teach them how to give more of their hard-earned money, because I'm telling you, giving changes everything that you could possibly ever do with your entire life. And, probably, Scott, I'm sure you're at a place right now that, we don't work for money anymore. It's not about money. Like, my focus is creating a legacy for my children. It is creating a legacy for my grandchildren, my great grandchildren. Like, I want them to know who we are. I want them to be able to have OTB tax, and that become an amazing brand for them. But I just want to change the world all at one time, and just help educate the population on this whole scenario, and get rid of the fact that, that you've been taught forever, well, you shouldn't have a home-based business, or, it's a scam to have a home-based business, or network marketing. And it's just, guys, it's just not true. So you have to stop focusing on what the 98% is doing and follow the 2%. Go in the opposite direction. And so, that's what I see that we're trying to build here. And I think that's exactly what Scott is trying to do with Be Connected with this book. And so it's truly amazing.
Yeah, thank you. It truly is that. It's time to create generational wealth. It's time to educate people on financial fitness and really help them. I mean, I've been very blessed and done very well at many times, and I've made some bad mistakes. And the reality is, we all are the same way. We all do those things,
Yeah.
right? I wish I had half the equation, but the fact is, we do those things, and has become learning events, which is a lot about what I talk about in the book. Quite frankly, is take these things as learning events and understand it's you that have the opportunity to make the decision and the choices to take a different tact. And if we don't collectively start educating people, there's going to be a real problem. And so I'd rather not think about that problem. I'd rather be the educator.
Yes, I love it. So tell me where everybody, and I so appreciate having this conversation with you, and let me talk just a little bit about, share my heart and, what I want to impact. Now, where do we find your book?
Go to tswnbook.com. In other words, the letters from the title. That sucks. What now? tswnbook.com.
Got it.
And that's the best place to get it. And there's also an action journal there. And let's just, let's improve some lives around the world.
And guys, I love it. So everybody go. I put that in the chat so you can download that book, tswnbook.com. And then as far as Be Connected, I put that in the actual link on the pages, so you can see, you can connect, you can log on and find out the information on Be Connected. You can join that community of like-minded individuals and be a part of that. That's great. And I appreciate so much your time, Scott. And do you have any last words of encouragement, anything you want to say?
I'm really honored to be able to share this time with you here. Again, I love your work and what you're doing. All we want to do at Be Connected is help people truly achieve their life streams through their businesses. We want to just facilitate that the very best we possibly can and allow us to help you help yourself. So come join the community. Let's have some fun together.
All right, Scott, I appreciate you so much. And I hope you have an amazing day, and I'll see you soon on Be Connected.
Sounds great. Thanks, Courtney. Bye-bye, everyone.